Yo, it's your boy Straight Cash coming to you guys today with another video of those three flamers, or should I say nine, man. I don't know what's been going on. You know what I mean? With the starters minutes, Breland was not in foul trouble yesterday, and she, was out there doing her thing and had six in the first quarter, six fantasy points in the first quarter. Was looking like it was going to be a good game, and then they just sat her. I don't understand it, man. But you know how that go. And yeah, ended up not cashing. Everybody else did what they were supposed to do. Vandersloot, she pulled it through at the end. Not Vandersloot. The Shields pulled it through at the end. And, yeah, man. I just don't know what happened to Miss Breland. But with that being said, man, we here today, man. We at it again. We know we don't give up. You win some, you lose some, man. It's DFS, man. As always, comment, like, subscribe, share this video as we continue to grow the Cash fam. Follow your boy on Twitter at Chester_native. Shout out to all the family members, man. I rock with y'all because y'all rock with me. Thank you for the love on both sides, man. Let's get into it. The top tier today is Miss Chelsea Gray. I think that she's going to have a great game. She's been, putting up, the points for the time that she's been getting. She's been definitely doing something with it. She's about a fantasy point per minute, if not over a fantasy point per minute. Since 2018, which was last year. 2017, she was a little bit under a fantasy point per minute. But I like her today. That DVP is screaming, play me, play me, play me. Her stats is up. She averages about 20 real-life points, almost 4 rebounds, 5 assists per game, 1 steal, a block in 36 minutes. Her usage is 28.2%, so almost 30%. She's about a fantasy point per minute player. She averages about 32.25 fantasy points per game, and her home away splits is crazy. Indiana has already given up 31.5 fantasy points per game, and they're giving up almost 5 assists per game, which is what she averages. So, definitely I think she should do well over this 31 today. And they're giving up 5.4 field goals. Next up, man, Miss Nneka Ogwumike, man. I started to pick her yesterday. I'm kind of glad I didn't. She only played 28 minutes, so that's why I'm not worried about the back-to-back factor, because she's, she only played 28 minutes. I don't think that's, enough to, or 24 minutes. I don't think that's enough for her to not be able to do her thing today, especially against Indiana. She's over a fantasy point per minute player. That's been her whole career. The DVP, once again, is screaming, play me, play me, play me. She averages about 17, almost 18 real-life points, 8.6 rebounds, which is like almost 9, 2.2 assists, almost 3 blocks and steals in 27 minutes a game. She impacts the game 15%. Her usage is 25.54. She's averaging about almost a fantasy point and a half a minute. Right now, she averages 35.45 fantasy points, and her away home split is awesome. Indiana has already given up 28, almost 29 fantasy points to the starters, and they're giving up almost 6 field goals per game. And they only giving up 6 rebounds a game, but I think she gets way more than that. She scored 46 against them last time, so I say lock her in. Last but not least, Miss Candace Parker, man. It took her some time to get back acclimated when she came back, but now she's doing the thing, man. I started to play her yesterday as well. I don't know why I don't go. I tell you guys to go with your gut, but I don't go with my gut. I thought because Miss Breland, that Breland, Jessica Breland, that was too juicy yesterday. No Elizabeth Williams, she was starting, but now I know that if she's starting, I'm not going to play her. She no matter who she's playing, you know what I mean? If she's not coming off that bench, I don't want her. I should have picked Miss Parker, and she definitely went off. She played 27 minutes, was in the perfect lineup, got a 41. She's been over a fantasy point per minute player against this team her whole career. That DVP is playing I'm going to trash this team. That's what it's screaming. Her stats is up. She's averaging almost 10 points a game, almost 7 rebounds, 4 assists, almost 2 blocks of steals in 28.9 minutes. She impacts the game almost 10%. Her usage is 18.73%. She's averaging a fantasy point per minute, and right now her average is 27.90, so about 28 fantasy points per game. Her home-away splits are awesome. They're giving up 33.7 to the forward starters, and they're giving up 6.2 field goals per game to a forward starter, and she scored 50 on them last game. In 37 minutes. So, and she was in the perfect lineup, and that was last year. So, with that being said, man, I say lock her in. Let's go to the mid-tier. Mid-tier. I like Miss Rinky. And I like, man, where was she at? Miss Alicia Gray. And Miss Tiara McCowan, man. She's balling out, man. She's definitely balling out. Shorty definitely had a good game yesterday. But let's get right into this, man. Miss Ariki, man. They entrusted her with a lot of minutes, man, and she's doing stuff with it. She might get anywhere from 25, you know what I mean? She could get all the way up to 40. So definitely think she's a good play today. She's about a fantasy point per minute, a little bit over a fantasy point per minute. Against this team, they got her at a 32, which is about 3.4 times value. I think she hits that, but I think she hits a little over. I think she gets about 4.5 times value today. The DVP is not that bad. Like I said, when they're getting minutes and they're starters, they definitely do what they want to do to this team. Right now, she's averaging 22.4 real life points, so that's about 22.5 points. About 4 assists, 1 steal and block, and 35.6 minutes. Who can pass up 35.6 minutes in a game? Her usage is really high, 32.17. She averages about a fantasy point per minute. Right now, she's averaging 32 fantasy points per game. The pace differential is in her favor. They're saying that the assist is not in her favor, but I think she definitely does what she needs to do, and that's right around what she averages anyway. And that they're giving up almost 6 field goals per game. So with that being said, I say lock her in and forget about it. Miss Alicia Gray is up next. She's been getting minutes. She's been doing what she needs to do with those minutes. Last game, she played 35, got you a 38. I think she does about 25 to 32 this game. I think she should reach out. The DVP, I know it looks scary, but I'm not worried about it. She's averaging 14 points, almost 15 real life points, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists, almost 2 steals and 2 steals and blocks, and about 34.1 minutes per game. As long as you're getting those minutes, man, I think she could do what she do. She impacts the game 10%. Her usage is 18.20. She averages almost a fantasy point per minute, so I would give her about a little bit over a half a fantasy point per minute. Right now, she's averaging 25 real-life fantasy points. So like I said, anywhere from 25 on up to that 30, 32. The pace is in her favor. They're saying that they only giving up 16.1. She's scrappy, so I think she gets hers, you know what I mean? And they only giving up 2.5 field goals per game. She scored, like I said, 28.75, almost at 30 against them last game. Her minutes are up. Like I said, they up to 34.6. So I definitely say lock her in. And last but not least, Miss Tiara McCowan, man. Last night, man, against New York, she played 31.